So I went and drove all the way almost to Ohio, because it's clear over past like by Richmond or something like that, and went and got these VMS wheels. And I'll show you some videos and pictures of them, but the wheels looked amazing. Like, I love the way those wheels look, but I didn't know anything about VMS. With that being said, the VMSs looked amazing. He did me a great service by selling me those for cheap. Great guy. Had some fast trucks, some fast diesel trucks, had a Cts-V. I think he had a Corvette in there. He had some amazing cars I've never even seen on the streets. I guess a lot of these guys, man, they just don't come out very much. So it was really cool to meet him and get to see some new faces and some new vehicles that I had never even seen before. We absolutely loved the way the car looked. Like, at this point, I really liked the exterior look of this car. The part that scared me was everybody wanted me to start modding this car. I had only had this car for not even a month. So all these things that I'm going over with you, everything that I bought, done, we did to this car, exterior, interior, you know, wheels and tire, suspension. We did all this in less than 30 days. And that was a lot for me. And I did want to go faster, but at the time, a 21 Camaro in 21 did not have anything to tune the trans, did not have anything to tune the car. So what I would have to do is they would have to buy me an older ECU out of like an 1819, and then they would have to tune that ECU and put that in my car. Immediately, I'd void the warranty. The only thing I was going to do is put an intake on it, but there's no gains from what I understand on the Camaros, on the LT1s, on putting an intake on the car. So now if it was a Z01, it'd probably be a little different, but the 10-speed would just shift like, whoa, pop, pop, pop. Like it literally shifted like butter. The car drove amazing. I mean, the car only makes like 450, I think 450, but I was beating a lot of cars with that car. I mean, even with two people in the car and the weight, I would beat Scatpacks. We would keep up with Mustangs. I mean, we would beat a lot of different cars that you honestly wouldn't think that car stock would ever be able to beat, but it did pretty well. Now, I did try to race some Hellcats. I'll show you some videos of that, and a Cts-V Gen 3, and that didn't go so well for me, but I mean, I did okay. I mean, I kept up pretty well for what it was, for me, for being a stock NA car. I mean, it kept up okay, but I didn't get my doors like completely blown off, but I mean, to me, for a stock car, it did pretty well.
Get up there so they know. Good. Now he knows. Getting the driver.
Really brake. It's going so fast.
Get up there. What year car? What year? 21. 21? 21, 10R80, that's badass.
What you got to it?
Just stock. Yeah. Stock 2, nice. Yeah, that was fucking hell racing.
Yeah.
That's an awesome car, man.
Because you're never like sure if there's consequences.
No, yeah, absolutely.
That's why I was like, on the highway, yeah.
Yeah, I was like, man, we were trying to catch people all night. We're like, let's just jump on the fucking interstate. Yeah. So awesome.
What's your YouTube?
Octane TV.
Yeah, Octane TV.
For the big old fatties on the back. So this is what I was racing on all weekend with these narrow 245s. But look at this, look at how bad it destroyed this tire on the inside. Like something has to be off on this tire. Like it destroyed the inner part of this tire. So good thing I didn't go racing too much or I would have probably been dead. Here's the calipers before. We're going to be using the G2 system and get rid of these ugly damn gray ones, and then we're also going to be taking care of these in black.
Now, knowing what I know now about those cars, if I would have kept that car, I could have easily made that car 500 to 600 horsepower NA, no issues, zero issues. And there was a lot of guys doing that at the time. That they weren't quite doing it with a 21. They were doing it with, you know, an 8-speed, you know, a 16 to 18 car. And there was a few 19s that had started modding, but I mean, like, you had to go through the ECU problem and all these situations that, you know, these cars were so new, nobody knew a whole lot about them. They only knew a lot about the 16 to 18s, the 8 speeds and things like that. So when these 10 speeds came out, it was kind of a new thing, kind of like when the Mustangs first came out with the 10 speeds. So this car from a dig would always hold its own and always stay straight. It never was like a Mustang where it just start fishtailing and get out of control and do crazy stuff. It always just squatted and went. I would beat a lot of cars from a dig, mainly because the car would just squat and go. It was a great, great car. But I was at the point of where I did not want to mod the car. I did not want to take the risk of voiding the warranty to gain, you know, 20, 30, 60 wheel. I'm like, is it really worth giving up a warranty on this car? Because I bought this car, still had 3 years, 36,000 miles on it. I don't even know if that's Chevy's new warranty or if it's 5 years, 60,000. I don't know. I think it's drivetrain. But I did not want to avoid the warranty on the car. So I did absolutely nothing to the motor, mainly besides just they cut the mufflers off when I bought it. So that was the only mod that car had was a muffler delete. That was it. That was the only mod. The 10-speed did make the car seem a lot faster than what it was, and we beat a lot of people, I think mainly just because the 10-speed was so fast. It was just a fast car. Now, knowing what I know now about this car, if you look at a, you know, bolt-on 10-speed LT1 car, because of the weight, the LT1's way less, you will see how fast these cars are in NA. I mean, in NA Gen 3 full bolt-on Mustang and that car, they're pretty neck and neck. I mean, they're very, very fast stock cars with just bolt-ons, like literally just a stock motor, bolt-ons, E85 car. They're very, very fast. Now here's where the problem lies, and this is what kind of just started sinking into my head. I'll kind of tell you some future stuff, but I want to kind of, you know, plant the seed to let you guys know of why I did not keep this car an extremely amount of time. I always wanted to build something that was faster. And the main reason why I was so hesitant on the Camaro was because of all the ring lane failure and everything that I had seen was that basically the stock block would only hold 600 max, maybe 650 max on horsepower and torque. And I knew that I was going to be limited every time I put money into that car, that I could potentially blow it up. And I did not want to blow up a brand new car. I mean, I just knew, and the Gen 3 Mustangs had just came out, so people didn't know really what those were capable of doing. There was a lot of fast ones, but how long did they stay fast? How long before they blew up? So there was a few pro-charged 1819s, and it looked like 650 was just max. That's what you're gonna get out of that car, and that was max. And that terrified me, because I'm like, why am I gonna buy a car that the maximum potential I have out of this car is 650 horsepower? Like, that's, I mean, in this day and age, 650 is nothing. I mean, you could literally buy a GT500 or any other car and make that kind of power stock. Like, literally, you could buy a GT500 and make that kind of power stock. So I'm like, why would I want to buy this car, mod it, knowing that that is the full potential before I have to start building the block? And I called up GPI, and I got multiple estimates for over $20,000 to start building the block, heads, cam, just building the motor. And still, even at that, on NA, I was still only gonna make 600 to 700 horsepower. I started talking to companies in Texas. I started talking to companies in Florida. I don't even know if they're still in business because I heard so many bad things about them, but they were telling me to do a stock LT1 motor like mine, and let's slap an LT4 blower on the car. Let's do that and see how far we can push it and all this. And I'm like, I don't care about how far I can push it. I'd rather be safe than sorry. I want to push it to make power, but I don't want to blow it. I'd rather just dial it down a little bit and not blow the motor. I am not willing to blow the motor in this car. I want to make a little bit more power, but I want to make it efficiently. And I have recently raced some LT1 Camaro SS cars that did take the LT4 fuel system and everything and convert it over, making some really good power, like decent power. And it's kind of crazy to see how fast those cars are now. But then you go into the situation, you know, do you build the block? Do you build this? Do you build these things that you need? Because that block is so fragile, especially like the ring lane failure and pistons. So I did not want to invest that kind of money. So if a lot of people out there are wondering, especially where I live or on YouTube, why I don't keep this car very long is because I knew in my heart that I eventually wanted to build something faster and bigger. And even though I love the interior and I love the exterior of the Camaro, it's kind of like my brain. The engine I knew was only going to do so much, and I didn't want to spend money on putting an engine in it. And I looked at it like, it's just like me, like, I mean, if my IQ isn't very high, I'm not going to go very far in life, you know? So it's like, I didn't want to be that to be my biggest limitation and setback is I had a motor that could literally push out 600 horsepower and then I'm done. And then I would never be able to compete any higher than what I have now. So I figured it was at that particular moment that I started realizing I needed to look at different options or look at options of building the car. And I did, like I said, I looked at multiple options across the board, but after paying $40-something thousand for a car and dumping $20,000 into it, knowing I'm never gonna get it back, I felt that was a bad investment.